Welcome to another edition of In the Box Seat with myself, Warren Len-Ferner. To my left, my neatly groomed and newly groomed co-host, Andrew Harrison. And we have got a very special guest online today. Well, online's not really my favorite, but technology we have to embrace. And we're able to touch base with such wonderful people from around the country and around the world. So today we're online with part owner of Royal Victory. His name is Peter Victor. Peter, how are you?
Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing that side?
All good, all good. You were just talking about the weather. It's getting a bit blustery, but it's something to do with the moon, you said.
No, full moon. The weather always changes at full moon.
Okay.
It's rain tomorrow.
Okay, so rain tomorrow. So we've got a good day, Pete, and we've got a bit of a breeze, but we're alive and well, and that's all that matters. And we look forward to, of course, welcoming you into KwaZulu-Natal over the champion season, and how wonderful it will be.
100%, yes. Looking forward to it. So yeah, let's see what happens and how we go.
Peter, tell me, how did you actually get involved in racing?
This is many years back. I matriculated in 86, but before that, at Gosworth Park, I was in standard 6. I was much smaller and lighter than what I was now. My dad's been involved in the game for many, many years, and I wanted to become a jockey. As a matter of fact, I sat next to Warren Bailey, and most of the guys that died tragically in that aeroplane, I was with them there that day, and they said, unfortunately, I'm going to get too big to become a jock. So I've been, since those days, already involved in horses and the love of the game. And then obviously in 86, I worked for Van Pienaar a bit. I worked for Calderida a bit in the training side of it. My dad always owned horses, and I said, now let me go and do some business-wise and go that route, and then obviously start buying horses. So yeah, my dad's been in the game, and that's how I got in the game.
Tell me, Peter, how many horses have you had leading up to Royal Victory?
Oh, I've had quite a lot. I've been very lucky. Most of my horses that I've bought has won a race or multiple races. Some obviously didn't. We don't know what goes on in their head and their heart. So confirmation-wise, they could be good, but you never know what's inside until you start working them.
Like a lucky packet, yeah.
Can't tell you exactly, but what I can tell you is my first horse that won for me, his name was She's a Flirt. It was with Erico Verdenise. That's a couple of years back, 2015. I can't see so far in the picture there. 14, 15. That was my first winner ever I had. And since that, up until Royals win now, I think it's 37 winners, 38 winners with 2 Group 1s and Group 3. So the horses are treating me very well.
So you've been hanging in there to get your Group 1?
I think that is any owner's dream. We all want to buy a horse that can compete in those races. And sometimes it's a bit of luck from above and from all over to find a horse like that. I'm sure everybody that goes to the sale wants to buy a Group 1 racehorse. But like I said to everybody, Oak never knows if you can get it or can't get it. As a matter of fact, I've got horses with Corey Lensley. He told me a story of an old man that he trained for, had horses for 35 years and never had a winner. And he passed away, and that Tuesday after he passing, he had his horse won a race. So it just shows you this game is a funny game, and it's not a game to go in if you haven't got the passion for it, because it's not a money game. It's a passion game. It's totally passion.
That we haven't heard that before. It's not a money game. It's a passion game, and you're quite right. You're 100% correct. That's actually a beautiful slogan that we could use or put up, and I'm sure the team will. Racing is not a money game, it's a passion game. So you're quite correct in what you say. This horse, Royal Victory, that is just blossomed and just progressed. You raced this horse with Nathan Kotzen and yourself, Mr. Visa, and Natasha Sturdy. Great partnership. How did the 4 of you find Royal Victory? Or did Nathan approach you? Tell us about how the paths crossed with Royal Victory.
Yeah, I actually had a horse called Star of Joburg that raced up at the top here. He started his career with Erico Verdenise, and then he moved to Jeff Woodruff. He had problems, knee problems. We had to op him and then op him again on his knees to remove chips. And then we decided to send him to the polytrack down there in KwaZulu-Natal. That's how I got involved with Nathan. So I spoke a bit, and Jeff said to me, you know what, Nathan is a great guy. And I phoned him up and I said, Nathan, I'm Peter Victor. I've got a horse. Can I send it down? And I sent it down there. And unfortunately, he had a massive ability, but he never recovered from those chips. He had it always in his mind. You know, you could race him in a 100-meter rated race, he ran 2 lengths off. You run him in a 70-meter rated race, he runs 2 lengths off. So he doesn't put it in. So we were actually at the sales. I was by big luck, by lucky the lockers in the stables. I had lots of horses, and Nathan was sitting there, and I walked down to him and I greeted him and I said, Nathan, you know what? Royal's going to retire in the next month or 2 because we're going to find him a nice home, which we did. He's doing dress massage and whatever now, and he's very happy where he is. So, you know, I own 50 of him. So have you got a horse that I can get 50 into? And he said to me, yes, Pete, you know what? I bought this horse and the owner pulled it out. I said to him, all right, I'll take 50. And he said to me, I didn't even look at the horse. I didn't know what his breeding was. He just said, I've got this lot number. And I said to him, okay, I'll take 50. So he said, yeah, I paid 90. He says, why don't you take 51 as majority? I said, all right, I'll take 51. And that's how we bought Royal Victory. So all the accolades and credit must go to Nathan. He picked him at the yearling sale. And that's how it got put together at the end of the day.
So you only paid 90 for him. Which sale was that?
It was the National Yearling Sale, 2021, I think.
You probably pay a lot more than 90 now, this last sale.
I bought his half-sister for 500.
Pete, so that's just amazing how you came across Royal Victory and met your partners, etc. I was just driving in from Summerveld with Andrew. We were up doing some work there earlier this morning. And Royal Victory, Peter Victor, Victor Victor, Victory Victory. Is there any association with the name?
Not to my surname. Obviously, Royal didn't have a name at that stage, so we needed to get a name. And I was thinking around, and I had a look. And my father was a firm believer that horses with the royalty name does very well, you know. And so I said, let's call him Royal Victory, you know. And I sent it to Nathan, and he said, what a name. And that's how it got to his name, Royal Victory. And after that, I bought another Parfolk, which I called Warrior of Royalty. Very good horse as well. Unfortunately, he's gone in the wind, but he's had the op, so he's coming back. And I bought another Parfolk at the sales now in Cape Town, the Premier CTS, and his name is King of Victory. So
King of, sorry?
King of Victory.
Okay, King of Victory. Okay, fantastic.
So you like the Parfolks? No, you like the Parfolks?
I think they totally underrated Parfolk. Parfolk, if you put him with the right mare, he's had bad mares in his time when he was at stud, and he's proven it. There's Main Defender, proper mare. Look what Main Defender has done, a Parfolk. Bingwa is a Parfolk. He's also won Group 1 races. So I think he's a very underrated stallion. If you get decent mares and give him decent mares, he'll give you decent foals.
Yeah, good. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Distorted humor, I think.
Yeah. So now, I remember bumping into you at Turffontein several times, but you were upbeat. You said, his last victory, you were very confident. The lead up coming into the Hollywoodbets Durban July. And just to our right is the parade ring, and our team will show you all the lovely view next to us of the parade ring. You'll be standing there, God willing, soon. How's he doing? What's the further plans? I know the plans, the Hollywoodbets Durban July, but is there another race between now and then? Talk to us about the diary of Royal Victory.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Nathan and I had this discussion this morning. We must probably, there is a pinnacle race now in May, 1500, that we'll put him in. It's just like a pipe opener. I don't think we want to change too much of the recipe we had traveling up. And, everybody said you're making mistakes. The Summer Cup, no race for 6 weeks. The Premier's challenge, no race for 7 weeks. So it seems like if he likes to race fresh, so we're discussing this. We might put him in 1,000 meters for a sharpener just to get him open, but we're definitely not going in any of the other bigger races and that type of thing. So his preparation is going well. He had his time off. He's back at work. So far, everything is good. He's sound. He travelled sound back. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to do us proud in the Durban July.
Yeah, I remember running into Nathan before the Champions Challenge, and he said we galloped him on the grass at Gravel yesterday. He said they won't beat us. And I was when trainers talk like that, you've got to stand up and listen.
100%. I'll go back to the first Group 1 he won, the Betway Summer Cup. We also galloped him 10 days before the time at Gravel from the mile racing pace, picking up a horse at 1,000 meters a sprint, and he went past him. And Nathan said to me, Pete, we're in it to win it. And he wasn't wrong. I think he won it very, very well. A lot of people say the pace was the date and it was this and that, but he showed his class. And then we obviously came this way and galloped against a much stronger horse, and he did the same thing. So we were very confident that if he travels well, he'll be a hard horse to beat. He was maybe a little bit further away from where he should have been coming into the straight, but Muzi got off him and said, what a horse, what a horse. He says, I haven't ridden a horse like this in my life. He says he moved up and he fell in a hole at the 300 in the Premier's Challenge, and he started lugging in, and he thought, okay, that's him spent, and he changed his leg, straightened him out for 2 strides, and when he asked him again, just gave him another kick and went past the other horse, Winchester Mansion, taking nothing away from him. I think he's a great horse. But Muzi said he's never felt something like that in his life. So he's very special.
One thing about Muzi, he seems to get the best out of those horses in the Highveld, the Summer Cup and the Champions Challenge. He's just got that knack.
Yeah. Obviously, Muzi hasn't won the Durban July. He wants to win that. I think it's any owner's dream to have a runner in the Durban July. Never mind win it. Try and win it. So everybody's trying to win the Durban July. I said to Nathan, my wife, everybody involved, I said, guys, we are so blessed. We're going to have a horse that might even start favorite in the Durban July or in the top 3 in the betting, and we've got a massive chance. If you look what is nominated in the field, I think it's a very strong Durban July this year. A lot of respect for Green with Envy, the 3-year-old in there. But most of the horses, he's beaten him twice, so I can't see him battling to beat him again. But, it's on the day. And a horse is like a human being. You can't tune it up like a car and say it's going to race 10 seconds or 12 seconds or whatever. Anything can go wrong. So we're hoping that he would come into the race fresh and ready to go.
Pete, Nathan Kotzen, your trainer, let alone him, who's travelled the world and worked with the best humans and horses, the most wonderful, encouraging, down-to-earth family.
Oh, wow. You know what? They're very close to Belinda and I. Belinda's my wife. And he's such a gentleman, and he's such a horseman. People don't realize what the horseman he is. He learned by the best, Michael Azzi, Mike the Cock. He was all over around. So he's a massive horseman. And I promise you, if owners give him the chance, he will produce for them. He's open to anybody. You can ask him anything about the horses any day. He sends you videos of your horses. It puts a lot of effort in. Very, very, very professional.
Yeah, he's got one fault. He's very quiet.
100%. I think so too. At the sales, I keep me and Glenn, his brother, say, stick your finger up. We'll put it together, buy a horse. And he just sits there and he like under the table off. I said, no, you can't buy a horse. And get going. And I said, walk around. he was blessed. The guy of ASSM Racing, what's his name?
Mr. Arun Chada.
Yes, gave him a horse.
Oh,
He bought the horse. Sean Terry just called him and said to him, he wants to see him personally, and they walked to the table, and the man was sitting there. I've personally met him. What a great gentleman by Mike de Kochten. I met him there. He's a gentleman of note as well. And you know what? He just gave him the slip. He said, I bought this horse. He paid 400 for it. And he said, yeah, take it home.
Jeez, that's wonderful news. It really is excellent news. And it just shows that results, results, yes, marketing and all the rest of it is of utmost importance, and communication. But the best marketing is your results, and his results are certainly showing. And it'll be lovely to have the colours of ASSM Racing in KwaZulu-Natal as well. I'm not sure off the top of my head if he has got horses in KZN, Arun, but we welcome him to the province with open arms. So that's good news.
Yeah, I know, it's brilliant news. I'm very happy for Nathan. Unfortunately, I've been, like I told you, long in the game, and you guys would know, if the trainer hasn't got the horses, you can't have winners. It's unfortunately, you need the stock to get the winners. If you haven't got the stock, you can't get winners.
You mentioned... Sorry, continue.
No, carry on.
You were saying that your wife, Belinda, we've seen her in all the pictures, we've seen her in all the celebrations, along with all your partners. But your family, they must be really enjoying the ride as much as you are. Pardon the pun, ride the wave, enjoying the ride.
Yes, I tell you what, they are. My daughter isn't much involved in horses. My son is. My one sister's in Australia. They love it. They don't miss the racing. They stay up and watch the racing. And when he runs, it's a fairy tale. Horses changes people's lives. I met my wife at the premises where Fawn Pienaar used to train at Newmarket. We got married. I think one of the closest races of royal victory to my heart is when you won that 1900 cancer drive there by you guys. Calvin rode him that day. You all know I've battled cancer, throat cancer, which I'm in remission, but I lost my daughter to cancer as well. And she actually died on the same premises where I met my wife. Hospice is there. So it's a sad story. And she loved horses. I've got photos of her with Pierre Strydom in She's a Flirt's colours. And so, yeah, it is. So that 1900 race is very close to us as a family.
Pete, there was a race, I'm sure it was you, and this, my memory is slowing up a little, I don't know why. What's your name again? George. And there was a race, you were standing in the parade ring with Nathan. I think you just stepped up Royal Victory in a bit of distance, and when you won, I remember you just about picked Nathan up and you were shouting, I knew he would stay, I told you he would stay. And in actual fact, there was a lovely reel done of that put out on Gold Circle's social media.
Come on, Calvin! I said to you, this horse will stay, man. I told you that.
And that's, to watch that emotion was just, and I'm sure you have it every time the horse runs and wins.
100%. That is exactly that pink drive race, that 1900
Is that
you
the
had
one?
there. But that's the one. We had him going, and Nathan believed as a 2-year-old he'll win the Durban July. And he hasn't even won his maiden. And I said, Nathan, this horse hasn't even won his maiden. He said, Pete, what this horse is showing. And then he came up for his 3-year-old career up here to the Highveld. I don't think he's done bad. He did well second, and he won a Group 3. And then Nathan went off saying, no, he's a miler. The horse Chestnut was a Group 1, and we decided not to bring him. I said, Nathan, let's test him in that 1900 and see if he stays, because I still believe he stays. And who's among us agent?
Mr. Monty Marimutu.
Monty said, this horse will stay, you'll win. This horse will win that Summer Cup. He believed it from day one. And I said, so let's test him. Let's not go up for the Group 1. He was disappointing over miles that side. Let's put him in this 1900. And if he wins, we'll put him in the Summer Cup. That's why he was never entered into the Summer Cup in the first entries, he was the first supplementary to see if he stays. And he won the race. He didn't win by far, but the manner in which he won it, Calvin jumped off and he said to me, Mr. Victor, this horse will go 2-2. This is a machine. I mean, when you ask him, he's so fast. I mean, when he turns it on. And even Musa came in the ring when he ran second. He said to me, sure, he came past me. It looked like we were standing still. So, yeah, that's how we got him to start staying.
I couldn't believe the price that he started at in the Summer Cup. I mean, that was an absolute steal. It was 80-1.
Yeah, it was. He started, I think, at 33-1, but they opened him at 70-1. You know, for me, it was a blessing because I took all the 70s. I took all the places and I knocked a few rand on the places. I mean, 71 a place. I think I got 14 or 16-1 a place. I mean, so for small money, we won big money on it, you know. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. And if you really, actually in my interview, I said to them, the oak that interviewed me, he says, what have you got to say for the people? I said, read the computer form, because there was a horse in there. I can't remember his name now, but I'll get on it now. And if I looked at that form, Royal's beaten it by 3 lengths, and that ran 1 length behind that Pietro Mazzani. Okay. So on that form line, we had to be in the race. Since we've put him over ground, 19 and up, he hasn't been beaten.
Gold Circle in KwaZulu-Natal land were very instrumental, or not instrumental, they did invite you to the race course to celebrate and enjoy, you know, KZN's victory, because obviously he's a KZN horse. I thought that was quite a nice touch.
Very, very nice touch from them. We really appreciate it. I told them there as well. We really appreciate them giving us a day there. It was very nice. We enjoyed it with Nathan, and racing was good for the day. So yeah, I think it's a great suggestion from them to do that. And we appreciate it as owners, you know. So it's great.
Last question, because you're a busy man. What line of business are you in?
We do a bit of construction work, but my main business is I've got a big firelighter plant. So I manufacture firelighters under contract for big guys. So yeah.
Jeez, okay, that's fantastic. Well,
I hope everybody buys and go on and keep on buying, and so we can keep on enjoying the game.
Don't worry, I keep you in business.
Yes, please.
All that's really left to say is it's always a pleasure being in your presence, you know, at the race course. You're always around the people and you're always chatting to all your colleagues and owners and friends, and it's just wonderful to be in the vibe and the presence, and we look forward to, we genuinely look forward to welcoming you. Your horse is here already, but we look forward to welcoming you and your family into the province, and all the very best for the big one, and just look forward to spending some time with you in KZN, and thank you for your time.
No, thank you guys for the invite. And my wife is actually sitting here. She's asking me something. What do you want to know about? No, my wife says she's got a big bond with my daughter and Royal and Muzi, and they got their special bond. And I don't know what it is. She doesn't want to tell me. So they do their thing in the parade ring, and touch wood, it keeps on working.
You say that, you know, obviously you observe the lead-ins, you observe the interviews, and funnily enough, I've mentioned a couple of friends of ours, and my wife has mentioned that you can see there's something that radiates through your wife and family in the winner's box. Yes, you know that you've won, etc., but before the race, there's that, you can see there's that vibe. They radiate. So I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a massive, impressive game. That's why we're in it, and we're there. So let's hope we can get the Group 1 staying in Durban this year.
Well, thanks, Pete.
Maybe
we're holding thumbs.
Maybe what I can do is to a bit cheesily can end it off and say, well, let's hope that you fire through the season.
100%.
Pete, to you and your family, all the best, and we look forward to seeing you in Durban soon.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely fantastic to catch up with Mr. Peter Victor. We know that he owns the horse in partnership with Brandon Visa, Natasha Sturdy, and Nathan Kotzen, a whole host of happy owners. But what a warm, fuzzy, wonderful story.
Yeah, even horses that have won one race or don't even win a race, they've often got a story behind them.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
horse has got a story behind them, but it's when they get to the grade 1 level and they win like that, it makes the story all that much more, I don't know, how do you say it?
Heartwarming, more
Heartwarming.
encouraging.
Well,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, there we learnt in the interview, that what line of business he is in, how they came across the horse, and just the wonderful vibes and feelings that they have towards the horse and the family. He's obviously had cancer, throat cancer, you heard from Peter, and sadly they lost their daughter. So, that they're able to enjoy it with so many, it's not right to say fond memories, because obviously when you lose people it's sad, but fond memories in the sense that it's such a warm story.
Yeah.
Andrew, the action at the Bloodstock South African National Yearling Sales was outstanding. I think the turnover was 220 million, give or take. I can't remember the exact figure.
I think the EU taking
Allowing the
export of horses boosted that sale.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
and you're quite right. I would say it did indeed, because it was like flicking a switch, because there were people there that haven't been there before. There was Hong Kong interest, overseas interest. The gentleman that owns Stradivarius, just his name escapes me for a moment.
the Swedish bloke.
He was there.
Bjorn.
Correct. Stradivarius' owner.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people there. There was a lot of interest, but there were also a lot of darn magnificent horses.
Yeah, no, but if you're an international owner, where before you might get a Group 1 and a really good horse, but you can't really take it overseas unless you just flock it.
Yes.
I mean, how many have been taken over through all the quarantine stages, and they just, by the time they get anywhere to race, they're flat and they've basically had enough.
Yeah.
So now, if you buy, like Hong Kong, you do the short stint in quarantine and you're straight there.
Yeah. Certainly does help.
There's no hassles. But
No hassles.
I was reading interesting about the Hong Kong Jockey Club, how they vet their horses. They're absolutely thorough.
Okay.
And if a horse has got one fault,
Off the list.
off the list.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Which is really interesting. They scope the horses before they take X-rays, and then before they bid, and after they bid, they take more X-rays.
Sure. So it's a
So they-
hickish process,
Yeah.
a hellish process. Okay,
So
sure.
their 6 million was well spent.
Well spent.
Start to think and run now.
The big racing, I mean, there was just, again, top quality racing all over Joburg. I think there's one more meeting and then the curtain is officially closed, and then the focus is on us. We start on the 4th next Saturday. But Joburg Racing was just champion after champion that we saw, and we look forward to having them here in the province.
Yeah. My only criticism is those race days where you have, I don't know, 9, 10 feature races. It's sort of washed out. And it started here too. I mean, it started in Joburg and then we followed. You get these race meetings where 10 or 12 feature races. In the old days, it was structured. I mean, you could have a Group 3 and a listed, or even a Group 2 on a Wednesday.
Okay.
And the whole program was structured to build up to the big races, obviously. But then, like on July Day, you'd have 4 features.
Okay.
And
So you're saying, like, for argument's sake, maybe on just using the Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, the Hollywoodbets Durban July is the main race, and then maybe one sort of curtain
yeah, well, you've
raiser.
got those 2-year-old races, and then you've got the Garden Province Stakes. But now, by the time you get to the Garden Province Stakes, was responsible Ridgemont.
Yes.
Blokes are tired. Eh?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying maybe like in the old days,
build
space them out
the
and
program
build
up
that program.
nicely. I think Graham Hawkins also is of the same opinion.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Talking about the Hollywoodbets Durban July, first entries out. Not more importantly, but I was overwhelmed by the entries, how wonderful and how exciting they are. But I'm also overwhelmed at the fact that before we can blink, the Hollywoodbets Durban July will have come and gone.
No, it's not far. It's 2 months, is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
But the first entries?
Yeah, well, everybody's there. The only horses I could think that weren't in the lineup was Sandringham Summit and Porto Manzana.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Those that should be there are there.
yeah.
Do you have an early idea of a horse that you like, maybe for a place even, early
No,
fancy?
I think it's between See It Again and Royal Victory. I know it's been parochial, but as far as I'm concerned, those are the only 2 horses in the race.
Okay, I had a list of 5. I said at the early stage, obviously See It Again, Royal Victory, Purple Picture, Give Me Another if she goes to the July, and who was the other one I mentioned this morning?
Green with Envy.
Green with Envy, and then My Lurker, but probably being a little biased, just to have him nominated as an entry as a feather in the cap, the Grey King. Let's see how he does in the lead up to the Hollywoodbets Durban July.
He's a bit hotter.
He certainly is a little hot, but there was some wonderful communication, and again it just shows you the professionalism of our South African trainers. That there was a video taken, he did his work this morning with earmuffs, they're going to go with a lead pony, and just professionalism to the next level. So he was a little hot on the day, you're quite right, it was there for all to see, but the team have already got on top of it, and I'm sure we'll see a far better behaved horse next time.
Yeah, well, Moosey's arms are about 6 inches longer than before the race. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what else? Any other news? You going to the game reserve, but by duress this time. You're not going to look at animals. You're going to go and watch a wedding.
Yeah, well, it's not the game reserve.
Is it not? You said it was at a game reserve.
No, it's not at a game reserve. I don't know, somewhere in the Berg.
Oh, somewhere in the Berg. Okay, well then
I hope they got a trout stream next door.
something to keep you going, some fishing. Okay. That's, I think, a wrap from us. Just a bit of news, and just wonderful to chat to Peter Victor, who is a shareholder in Royal Victory, to everyone that's connected with the horse, the breeders, everybody. Well done. And yeah, we're just getting ready. Our engines are getting revved up for a wonderful champion season that's around the corner.
We got the Guineas Day on.
Correct, on the 4th, Saturday the 4th of May is the Fillies Guineas, the Guineas, and then the Drill Hall, I think, is it?
Yeah, independent on Saturday.
Drill Hall, yes, yeah. iOS Drill Hall. So plenty action, and we suggest that you fasten your seatbelts and get ready to ride the wave. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow us on the Gallop TV YouTube channel. If you missed last week's episode of In the Box Seat, click right here and you'll be able to watch it at your leisure.